Welcome back, everyone, as we dive into the second part of Act 2 as the Prussians here on Master of Command. If you didn't see the first 3 episodes of this series, there's a link in the description that'll take you back to the beginning so you can get all caught up. We're going to finish out Act 2 today. It's day 61. We've got a pretty sizable force for this point in the campaign. We need to dismantle 5 slums and otherwise just build up our force. We've got plenty of reservists at the moment. I do need to get some ammunition. Provisions we're going to go through. We've got about 30 days with, so we are going to need some more at some point. We've got plenty of tollers at the moment. So really we just need to upgrade. We need to level up. We need to get our army in tip-top shape and get it ready. But we also need to dismantle some slums to get that enlistment officer's doctrine. So let's go ahead and dive into today's episode. I've seized some weapons, and the Charleville muskets will definitely be an upgrade for at least one of my units. We also have these cuirassier swords, which will help with melee combat. So let's go ahead and take a look and see if we've got anybody that could make use of that. First thing I want to do, though, is I think I want to actually go ahead and move some things around here. For the time being, I'm going to try to organize... I'm just going to look through all these and figure out how best, but I'm probably going to put all of my cav in one brigade, all of my artillery in one, and just kind of organize it that way, but I'll decide which general is best suited for which position out of all of these. So we found hostile townsfolk in this first slum. We can pay for their silence, allow them to report our position, which is going to bring the headquarters a week faster. I actually want to push that back as much as I can. So we'll go ahead and pay. And then we'll go to this other slum. We are going to have to keep an eye on our provisions, though, so we're going to have to stop at a town soon and buy some more provisions. We don't want that to get too low. We can get some weapons. I don't know if I need the weapons. Oh, I wouldn't mind having more reservists, but that's going to wipe out our provisions. I don't think it's worth it right now. We do have another set of slums over here, but let's go ahead and switch over to foraging, which is gonna we're gonna move a little slower, but we can see more, and it's gonna allow us to reduce how quickly our provisions are being spent. In the meantime, we can also buy some ammunition when we get there. Oh, we've hit winter. That's gonna make it even faster that our provisions are consumed. All right, let's hit those slums, and then we need to get over to this town, or get over to that fort, too. All right, we're going to have to pay again. So we need 2 more slums. We do have an enemy army up ahead of us in the field, 14,000 men. I feel like that's a winnable battle for us. All right, what do they got? They've got 3 units of horse, 3 units of artillery, 4 units of horse because they've got Royal Cav up here. Those will be tough. We need to keep an eye on them. So fairly even in terms of the makeup of our armies. Gonna try something a little different this time around. I'm gonna back into this corner and build a defensive line right here and let him kind of come to me so that I've got a good amount of flexibility as far as how I deal with whatever attack he chooses to throw at me. So I'm pulling everybody to this corner. It's going to take a little time to get them deployed the way I want them, but it should work out pretty well. His infantry is about to be in range for our artillery, so I want to just take a minute and just enjoy watching our artillery fire when they open up here in just a second. It's just cool to kind of see the uniforms. We haven't really spent a lot of time just appreciating how these 7 Years of War uniforms look. They're just beautiful. I love the flags. He hasn't opened up yet, but I was expecting that they would by this point. So I'm going to speed things along a little bit. Here we go. Lovely. All right. We don't get to do that very often because we kind of need to keep a bird's eye view so we can see what's going on the field. All right, his cav's still staying right behind the line. His infantry, or his artillery, is all Dutch field artillery, and it's all there in the middle. This Royal Cav I want to keep an eye on because these guys tend to be hardcore. Look at that, 83 morale. I mean, none of my cav has anything like that. We've got, let's take a look at our morale. We've got the Bayreuth Dragoons, which have 67. Our Guard Cuirassiers have 69. And the Freikorps Provincial Cav have 50. He should be moving into position here before long, where we can start hitting him. Looks like his Cav's gonna shift over this direction, so we're gonna do the same with ours. Man, our artillery is already low on ammo. We got to deal with this ammo situation. They're at 20% ammo. That's not helpful. Plus, he's got these woods right here that are going to help him with cover quite a bit. All right, we gotta. I really hope I can turn his right, and we can march in and get at that artillery. Let's keep an eye out over here. I'm watching that Royal Cav. That's my main concern at the moment. Alright, how are we doing so far? Heavy infantry is about to open up. Beautiful. There's our Cantonist recruits. We're just going to roll right down the line here. Oh, I love the black uniforms, the Dayton Brawlers. Let's get a look at them a little better here. They're getting ready to fire. They did. There's our Jane Lou Dragoons. Schwarzadler Regiment. They're taking some casualties. They look beautiful as well. Oh, I love it. Love it. More recruits. Prussian Fusiliers. Alright, let's get back out to a bird's eye view here because things are happening. Alright. What's that? The Royal Cav. Okay. Let's get after them with everything we've got. He's trying to get around me with the Royal Cav so he can threaten my artillery. Oh, look at how much artillery is coming down in this area. Alright, his lines are moving in close right now. I want to pause for just a second. Heavy infantry, oh look at that, 270 to 11. They're doing fine. Our recruits are holding their own just fine as well. We've got light infantry here that I'm holding in reserve at the moment. I was just too nervous about his cav to put him out front. Schwarzadler Regiment and the Cantonist recruits are struggling at the moment, and that's mainly because of range, I think. Prussian Fusiliers are doing okay. Okay. Here he comes. So it's going to be all our cav versus all his cav, it looks like. But the good news is we're going to get in on his Royal Cav before it becomes an all-out scrum between everybody. There we go. We were able to drive off his Royal Cav. If we can shatter them, even better. I'd really like to shatter them. Okay, our Freikorps Cav just broke. There we go. We shattered the Royal Cav. That is huge. That's his, I mean, arguably his best unit is now off the field. All right, we got to move forward here. You know what? Put your volley into them. Yes. I want to drive off all his cav. Looks like they're going to recover. Okay. Fall back, fall back. The main deal here, okay, he charged into my center against my Cantonist recruits. And they're gonna break, but I think we'll be okay here. Because we're gonna deal with that, and I'm gonna send my light infantry to the center. All right. Call off the dogs. The Hunde. Okay, he's gonna melee attack with his grenadiers. We're gonna hit them with a volley from our Fusiliers. We're going to back up our Freikorps recruits as best we can there. All right, this strategy seems to have worked. So let's start advancing now. Try to threaten his artillery. We got to resolve this crazy melee fight going on over here. And we did. Beautiful. All right, Dragoons, let's get you out and over on the side with the Guard Cuirassiers. He just charged into my center and paid for it dearly. We gotta get ammo, though. I mean, ammo and food are major concerns for my army at the moment. But this has been a good battle for us. Prussian heavy infantry, always one of our best units on the field. His hussars, let's finish them off. Jane-Lu Dragoons, just they're one of those units that for me always ends up taking a lot of casualties. They're kind of a tank, I guess, in a sense. That they're always at the center, they're always in the midst of things, and they always seem to be targeted. Now we just need to take out a couple more of his units. These Dragoons will be a good start. So we can drive his morale down to where he'll lose the battle. There we go. That helps. Our Freikorps recruits have a nice flank attack here. We may not even have to get at his artillery. We may be able to just go straight after these two units to win it. This will finish off these Fusiliers. Or maybe not. He might break me first. No, we got him. All right. Let's get after that artillery. That should finish this. Recover, do it again. Recover, do it again. Boom. Oh, that was not enough to win the battle, though. They've got 822 kills in this battle with only 91 losses. All right, we'll get after these Fusiliers then. Wow. F, that's the hotkey. I always got to remember there's a hotkey for doing melee attack. Oh, Prussian Fusiliers broke. So did the Freikorps recruits. Didn't see that coming. These Grenadiers have been pretty tough. There we go. Got him. All right. It got a little messy at the end, but all in all, that's a great victory. I'm happy with that. We definitely need provisions. We definitely need need ammo in the worst way, and we should get some leveling up here. Some much needed thalers as well. Look at all that. That's some nice loot there. Thalers and ammunition would be nice. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to go with here, because we've still got a decent amount of reserves. We're going to be able to recover most of our manpower, I think. Let's take a look. Yeah, we've still got about 1,000 reserves left. Ammo is just enough. We're still going to have to buy more provisions, buy more ammo, buy more reservists for sure. And then we need to take a look and see where we can upgrade. So I'm looking at upgrades, and since the Dayton Brawlers are meant to excel at melee combat, I'm going to give them these excellent beer rations, which will improve the basic beer rations they have now. It's going to make them better at melee combat. And so we're always looking for those little bonuses that's going to help them with things like that. They've got a pretty good... The heavy socket bayonets are good for melee combat as well, but I think there's still some things we can do to make it better, especially like if we want to give them a bonus to charge. And give the... Oh, they can't have spirit rations. Okay. What else can we do then? I don't think we can give them swords. Move speed's not really beneficial. Stamina, not so beneficial. That might be all we can do at the moment. But most of our other units, we're waiting to get more points before we can upgrade them. Like these Cantonist recruits. I'd really like to make them musketeers. And then eventually grenadiers or musketeers, but we're not there yet, so we need 4 for that. Alright, so I was trying to get over to the town so that we could buy the replenishments we need and sell some of the excess equipment and maybe buy some better equipment for our units or buy more units. But we had this 8,200-man patrol army that decided to attack us while we're still recovering from the last battle. So he's got a lot of cav and a lot of artillery, very little infantry. So we're going to have to be aggressive here. To go after this smaller force before he can use the artillery and the cav to hurt us. Okay, here they come. And of course we have more units than him, so we're obviously going to be able to get out and around on his flanks. Let's go ahead and send the Freikorps recruits around this side. I'm going to keep one of my cav units back just to protect the artillery, although our artillery is not even in range yet. They're just about to start firing. I don't want him sneaking his cav around somewhere and getting me. We're going to park our center right here at the edge of these woods. I'm sending the 12th East Prussian Infantry around the side here. We're going to fire into his flank as soon as we're able. Oh, he's firing at my dragoons. Okay. His cav. Or my cav, I should say. Here he comes. Alright, turn and fire. Let's hit these Fusiliers. Going to be beautiful. Oh, he's firing his artillery at me over here, but we're in the woods, so it's reducing the effect of it somewhat. Alright, as soon as they're into line, they'll be able to fire on his flank, and that should be pretty devastating to his morale. Yeah. And then the Dayton Brawlers are going to fire on them too, so we're going to have 3 units firing on those Fusiliers. We got some Hungarian Fusiliers there in the center. We're going to watch his morale, because as soon as it looks like it makes sense, we're going to charge. Which it already does there, but we just didn't have a chance to because he broke so quickly. Alright, we got to press here. because we've got to get through to that artillery. Alright, we're going to charge. I'm going to send the Provincial Cav forward. We're going to send the Dayton Brawlers forward. I'm going to send my Dragoons up here, but his Cav... Oh, they're hitting me while I'm in the water. That's not ideal while I'm crossing. But still, that's my best heavy infantry. Alright, we'll send the recruits in to help out. Major melee coming here. I told you we needed to be aggressive on this one. There we go. We drove back his Fusiliers. Now we're going to push right through into his Gentleman Cav. Let's get our Dayton Brawlers in there. These Hungarian Grenadiers are going to hit my Freikorps recruits. Now he's sending his other Hussars around the back, but that's okay. Not too worried about that. Alright, we drove off his Gentleman Cav. Now let's push forward. He's got French Dragoons back there guarding the artillery. This is one of the rare times that our heavy infantry is breaking, and that's understandable because of the situation. They were in the middle of crossing the river. But in the meantime, we shattered his units over there. We're just going to push forward here with everything we've got. I'm going to be as aggressive as possible. Oh, our Freikorps recruits got driven off by the Hungarian Grenadiers, but I think our Fusiliers are going to be able to handle them. Oh, our Dragoons broke. And now his Dragoons are going to charge mine. My Cantonist recruits. So, a bit of a mess on the left at the moment. Jane Lu Dragons, let's... have I been calling them Dragoons? I think I probably have been. Alright, we're driving back his artillery. We're driving back his Dragoons. We're going to drive back his Hungarian Fusiliers. His Hussars, actually, were successful against me. That's okay. Here they come. They're going to charge again. We had to be aggressive here, though. There we go. All right. That was not a battle I even wanted to fight. But it's going to get us some more experience and more loot that we can turn around and sell. More money. So we'll be able to buy a few more units for sure. Oh, there's some earthworks. I like those. Ammo, Tollers. No, you know what? We need reservists at this point. Let's go that route. Oh, one of our brigade commanders was killed. And he was probably our best brigade commander, too. Oh, that hurts. So we'll need to get another officer. We definitely need ammo and provisions. So I bought up all the ammo they had, which is not going to be nearly enough for what we need. We're going to buy up all the provisions they have. And let's see where that puts us. Oh, we did have enough ammo. Okay, that's good. We need to get another officer. We need to sell some of this equipment. We're going to need to buy some additional units. Let's see what's available. We can get some musketeers. That would be good. Grenadiers would probably be even better. Yeah, I like that. Let's pick them up. We're going to need to outfit them and equip them. We're going to need to look at... Oh, we can get veteran grenadiers for our Prussian heavy infantry. That's helpful. Keep everything the same. So they're maxed out now. So I'm looking at some weapons with the gunsmith now. These Tula muskets look really good compared to a lot of what I have. Neustadt muskets are definitely an upgrade. These carbines would be good for our cav. We have a cav unit that could use those. Look at these Potsdam muskets, even better. My goodness, getting some new guns I think is going to be helpful for us. So let's go ahead and go in and look. Who's my cav unit? There they are right there that don't have weapons yet, or firearms I should say. So we'll get those for the Freikorps Provincial Cav. Dayton Brawlers, are they ready to upgrade? We want melee for them, so I think we want Grenadiers. So we aren't quite there yet. We need 6 points for them. Yeah, these Prussian Grenadiers need some more upgrades as well. No, we've already got that. Can't do that. There we go. Who can use some weapon upgrades is the next thing. Jane Lou Dragons can definitely use some better weapons. They're still using Potsdam muskets. Let's get them those Munnerstadt muskets. And where's the ones? Here's these ones here. These are really good as well. Oh yeah, our light infantry could definitely use those. That's a big upgrade for them. So we've stumbled upon this cavalry clash on day 94, and if we do this here, we have a likely chance. We're going to take 10% attrition, but we can handle that. We've got the manpower for it. We have a pretty good chance of gaining a cavalry regiment. Awesome. We got some new Prussian hussars. That is huge, and I think that pretty well maxes us out. Yeah, it does. Short of buying another new brigade, which we can't afford right now. We're pretty much maxed out. So at this point, we've just got to find 2 more slums so we can complete this. But I just don't see where we're going to find them in the next 40 days before this thing finishes up. So we'll just make our way around and hope we get lucky. So we've found another encounter here, and this is going to give us a line infantry regiment, but we're not going to have a place for them in the line, these musketeers. We may need to swap them in for one of the other units that's currently part of our army. We've got these guys, 1,400 men there. Yeah, we'll have to decide once we get closer to the time for the final battle, which is only 34 days away now. Alright, we're moving on slums number 4, but we're getting so close on time. We've got 25 days left to find one more set of slums. What's going to make our chances of doing this the best? Well, we're going to receive some reservists, but we'll lose some of our provisions. Yeah, let's do that. Do I see more slums anywhere? Anywhere at all? Oh, there's got to be more around here. I don't want to have to march really far to find the last ones and run just out of time. Alright, well the good news is I found some more slums. The bad news is I have to stop off at this town first because we're about to run out of provisions. And we are 2 days away from the arrival of the enemy army, which means basically we're going to have to hurry up and get to these slums. Oh no, you got to be kidding me. We're going to have to face this army first? No, I don't want to face one army, then have to go get the slums, then immediately face another army. This is not good. Alright, so we're getting our artillery into position. I'm going to keep kind of a small line again because this is a smaller enemy force. We don't need to extend our line too much. Just going to get into position to be able to hit him from the flanks as best we can. I've got 2 units here in the center that both have cover. That includes our light infantry that's going to be out here in front a little bit, but we're going to give them support from the Schwarzadler Regiment, and the Jane Lou Dragons are going to be right behind them, ready to jump in if they come under melee attack. And then right next to them, we're going to have the Freikorps Musketeers, the Cantonist Recruits, and the Prussian Fusiliers. I'm going to keep these Grenadiers in reserve. Maybe over here on this side. Looks like he's moving his artillery out in front. And now the infantry is going to come up on the other side of him. Where's he targeting? Looks like he's targeting right in the center right now. That's fine. Schwarzadler Regiment's not taking too many casualties because they have fortifications that they get to carry with them. I love it. Alright, let's move up to behind this fence. Shift the Cantonist recruits a little bit to refuse that line. And then wait to receive the enemy. Our artillery's opening up now. I'm going to move the Prussian Hussars up a little closer. They're going to get to see their first action for us. I haven't given them any perks yet. I need to remember to do that before we fight the final battle. Alright, our Cantonist recruits need to move forward a little bit so that they are in range to be able to fire on these Hungarian grenadiers. There we go. I'm watching his cuirassiers over there. Just about in range for me. Alright, let's pull back this line since he's got 2 mounted units that are coming this way. Alright, we're going to send the Prussian Grenadiers over there to help with that. The Guard Cuirassiers as well. Alright, somebody's charging. Looks like it's going to be the Hungarian Grenadiers. Very good. Send my Prussian Hussars in there to say hi. He's trying to hit my Cantonist recruits. That's my weak spot on that line. Alright, Prussian Fusiliers, go in and help out. Jane Lu Dragons, we're going to send you over to that side, along with the Freikorps Provincial Cavalry. In the meantime, what's going on over here? Here comes the charge. Alright, we already drove off those dragoons. Let's go ahead and reform here. Guard Cuirassiers, I changed my mind, don't do it. Alright, now we gotta go back to the right. Everything's happening on the flanks right now. So our Cantonist recruits did break, but I think we're gonna be okay. Our Freikorps Provincial Cavs over there, our Jane Lu Dragons are here, and they're gonna charge into the Hungarian Fusiliers. I'm going to turn the Prussian Fusiliers over this way. Alright, this is going to be a pretty quick battle, I think. Alright, Dayton Brawlers. I know you like melee combat. Go get some. Jane Lu Dragons are shattering them. Awesome. So his Cuirassiers just broke 2 of my units. Both the Prussian Fusiliers and the Freikorps Cav. That's okay. Jane Lu Dragons are going to get hit by the Hungarian Hussars. And Hussars are tough on infantry. I mean, we're definitely not looking good there. But they'll weaken them enough to where that gives us some time to fix our lines. Meanwhile, our dragoons over here are going to march all the way to Vienna if we don't stop them. Okay. Alright, there we go. That wasn't too bad as far as casualties go. But we don't have a lot of time before the next army arrives, so we'll see what this looks like as far as casualties goes. Make sure we have enough artillery and ammunition that we're going to need for this next one. Alright, so we lost 2,300 men. We'll recover some of that. And then we'll definitely have enough manpower to cover the rest. Could probably use the ammunition. Oh, the provisions would be nice too, but I don't think we need that right now. I think we need the ammunition. Alright, we've got an upgrade for a couple of our generals. Morale damage dealt plus 20%. Absolutely give me that. That's big for our cavalry division there, or brigade. Cover effectiveness, morale plus 10%. Yeah, let's do that. Looks like we're good on ammo and reservists, so that's a plus. So what I need to do now is I need to check for any potential upgrades for any of my units, and I need to get my new units equipped with some of these perks and figure out whether or not we want to put these Prussian musketeers into the line above one of these other units, which I think I might want to do, especially for one of the recruit units like these guys here. I think that's probably what we want to do here. Here we go. Enemy headquarters is on its way, but we are just now getting to the 5th slums. We can get reservists. Yeah, we're going to do that. Recruitment cost is down 20% because of enlistment officers. That's handy. But now, I have no idea what this army we're going to face looks like, but we wait and they'll come. We're going to sit here and drill and gain some XP while we wait for the enemy army to hit us. But it looks like provisions are running low quickly, so we're going to have to go buy some provisions before we hit that enemy army. Oh, we just ran out too. Just in time. Let's gobble up what we can. We bought everything they had. We'll buy some ammo too. Not that we necessarily need it. Here they come. Alright, it's going to have 18,000 men. Alright, so we're definitely outnumbered. We're probably going to be outclassed as far as the level of these units. I mean, look at that. Heavy Cav, Royal Cav, they're going to be tough. There's 2 units of French Royal Cav, 2 units of French Gentleman Cav. They all have really high morale and really good stats. The artillery looks to be decent. There's another Cav unit here, Hussars. Yeah, this is going to be a tough battle. Okay, so my main overarching concern in this battle is going to be those 2 units of heavy Royal Cavalry. Those things are army wreckers. If they get into a situation where they can hit me on one of my flanks where I've got a couple of low morale units, he could roll up half my army before I could stop him. So we have to neutralize those as quickly as possible. So as soon as I see where they're going to commit, I'm going to send everything I can to counter them. I'm keeping my line a little shorter. I've only got 1 unit of artillery. I swapped out the other unit of artillery for infantry. I decided I needed the infantry more in this battle. I've got 2 of my mounted units on each side. I've got the Jane-Lu Dragons in reserve over here on the right instead of in the center where they always get pummeled with artillery. Got heavy infantry on the left. Again, 2 units of mounted soldiers there, as well as the Dayton Brawlers, which are a melee unit that I'm going to use to charge at some point. But in the meantime, keeping an eye on that Royal Cav. So it definitely feels like he's shifting over to try and maybe overload my right. So I'm going to go ahead and extend the Jane-Lu Dragons over there. Shift my mounted units a little more. My artillery is now horse artillery. We did upgrade them. Alright. Firing on light infantry doesn't seem like the ideal use for this artillery, although firing on a spot where there's multiple lines does make sense. Alright, let's get these guys moved up. I want them firing into his flank as he comes in to range here. We might be able to roll up his right pretty quick. We definitely want to take advantage of that if we can. Alright, there's 1 unit of Royal Cav over here, as well as Hussars. Where's the other Royal Cav? It's over here with 2 units of Gentleman Cav. He does look like he's positioning himself for a charge, which we're going to position ourselves to be ready to counter. I've got heavy infantry. I've got Dayton Brawlers right here, which are a melee unit. So we're going to be ready for them. So got to stay behind the line, though. I'm going to slow things down just because we're going to need to micromanage every bit of this if we're going to win. Alright, he's not quite into range in my center yet. Royal Cav's the priority. If we could shatter that unit and remove half his Royal Cav from the battlefield, that would be really important. Alright, we fired a volley and now we're going to back off over here. Alright, he saw me overloading, so now he's changing his mind. He's like, yeah, maybe we don't want to do that. Now he seems to be shifting again. Alright, who's this in the center here? We've got a unit of Austrian Grenadiers moving just out of range. My light infantry is about to fire on him, though. Here he comes. Alright, open up on him, boys. They're in range. There we go. Took out 77 in one volley. Love it. Alright, let's fire on somebody that's a little closer. Shall we? Alright, we're about to go into combat on the right. Boy, he is really loaded up on this side. That could potentially be an issue. Could be a typical battle where we overwhelm him on his right and he overwhelms us on our right. In fact, he's kind of thin over here at the moment, which is kind of interesting. You know what? Looks like he's moving in for a charge, so we're going to beat him to it. This concerns me a great deal over here. He really loaded up on that side. I've not seen him do that before. Now he's charging at us. His center is largely not fighting at the moment. Alright, how are we doing? Good. We drove them back. So what I want to do now is I want to start threatening his center as much as I can. But first we've got to deal with this Royal Cav. I don't need them hanging out over here as a threat. I'm hoping I can get him to start shifting units this way to deal with his shattered flank. These Fusiliers are going to break pretty quick, but I can't charge because he's got just too much back there. What is that Royal Cav doing? He's trying to get around my lines is what he's doing. He's going to distract me from being able to do anything. Alright, I want to shatter these guys. I don't want them any part of this battle after this. How are we doing over here? Jane Lu Dragons, so far so good. Fusiliers are helping out. These guys have cover, but they're about to break. Our Prussian Musketeers are out of range, and so they're taking casualties without inflicting any. Same with these guys here. So that's a problem. Come on. Take them out. Shatter them, please. Meanwhile, I'm sending the Prussian infantry forward over here. Dayton Brawlers are just mainly shadowing the Royal Cav. Here we go. Start firing back on these guys. Goodness, why haven't they fired a shot yet? They've taken 300 casualties. There we go. Didn't take out very many, though. Alright, his cav is shifting to try and get around me. Alright, here they come. Dayton Brawlers are going to get their first taste of French Royal Cav. Doesn't look like we're going to be able to shatter these guys. We just can't catch up to them. So let's shift and maybe go help out with this Royal Cav instead. How are we doing? See what I mean about that? I mean, Dayton Brawlers are specifically designed for melee combat, and they are just getting destroyed by this Royal Cav, which is a heavy cavalry unit that's specifically designed for this kind of fight. The good news is they're inflicting casualties. We've taken out we've taken out about a third of them. So even if morale is working out for them, the numbers don't. All right, we've got to get at that artillery as quickly as we can. What's happening on our right? He finally launched his melee attack. This is his attempt to shatter that side of my line, which may or may not work out. Dayton Brawlers got wrecked. The good news is my Dragoons are holding their own, and when these Cuirassiers get in there, that's going to make the difference, and hopefully we're going to shatter this Royal Cav. Overall, the battle's pretty much a draw so far. The good news is we are about to get at his artillery. And ideally, we are rolling up his left. Or his center, I should say. Oh, his Grenadiers just hit my artillery. Oh, jeez. Didn't even see that coming. That's a major mistake on my part. He shattered my horse artillery. I was so busy watching my flanks, I didn't see that coming. Who shattered? We did. He shattered that infantry unit on that side, and suddenly this could be a disaster in the making. Again, it's still an even battle. Did we shatter his Royal Cav? We did. So that's good. We're about to shatter his artillery. Here comes another charge. This time they're charging my light infantry. I think we're going to drive back the Grenadiers, so that's good. Our light infantry, I'm hoping, can hold their own here with a little mounted help. What a just absolute mess this battlefield has turned into. Dayton Brawlers have recovered. My Prussian Grenadiers hopefully can hold their own. Oh, I thought for sure I'd drive off those Grenadiers. I guess not. What an absolute mess. His Gentleman Cav just slammed into the back of my Fusiliers. But we got him. need somebody to recover. All right, let's pause for a second. This whole battlefield is just a mess. It's still pretty even. Okay, where are we at? We've got Fusiliers coming this way, so let's be careful. Let's give our mounted units a chance to recover. Actually, you know what? I want to try and shatter that Grenadier unit if I can. Alright, he's got mounted units coming after me, so let's be careful there. Oh, he's going to charge right into my heavy infantry. It's alright, we can charge right back. Oh, he's got artillery firing on me too. Back here. Shatter them. Shatter those hussars. Don't let them come back again. I don't think we're going to get that far on them. Okay. Meanwhile, our right is just completely in tatters. Not entirely sure how these Grenadiers haven't broken yet. There they go. He's got Grenadiers right in my face. What's happening here? Oh, those hussars recovered that quickly. Alright, can we shatter them, please? No, they're still going to recover. I'm trying to shatter them so they don't keep coming back at me. But it doesn't seem to be happening. Alright, Dayton Brawlers, let's get up there on the line. At the moment, he's winning this battle. Though I feel like we're in a better position than he is. Alright, before those Grenadiers, those Austrian Grenadiers get another shot at me, I've got to charge. I don't know how much of an army I'm going to have left after this battle. Oh, here comes this Royal Cav. They're going to shatter my cuirassiers. I wondered where that other Royal Cav was. Here they come. They're going to charge into my musketeers now. That's it. Drive them back. There you go, Dayton Brawlers. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, no way. He's going to hang on somehow. There we go. But now it's his units that are recovering, and I have very little left in the way of ability to fight. I think we're going to lose this battle. And with it, that'll be the end of the campaign. I just don't have much left. Most of my units have shattered. Some are starting to recover. But I think it's probably too little too late. We're low on ammo now. I've got just a handful of units left on the battlefield. Schwarzadler Regiment just hanging on for dear life in the center somehow. Now who's charging? Oh, it's his Cav. Just about to get a volley off, and we failed to. He's going to drive off both those units. And with it, what's left of my line. Yeah, we're down to 10% morale. There go the Dayton Brawlers. Well, that's it. And when you lose the final battle, you lose the game. You can lose any other battle. You can't lose the final battle. But lessons learned, and from my understanding, that's how this was intended to be done. You weren't intended to be able to win everything the first time through. I mean, casualties are pretty even, but he started out bigger than us. He had that heavy cav, which, man, heavy cav is brutal on a battlefield. So let's finish by looking at how things kind of played out. We fought 15 battles. We won 14 of them, but we lost that all-important one at the end. There's our days survived, our money earned. We inflicted 45,000 casualties, suffered 31,000. The biggest battle, of course, was the last one. The most men in the battle was that last one. We can look at our regiments. The 12th East Prussian Infantry Heavy was the most valued unit. I'm not surprised by that. They also had the highest kills. The Dayton Brawlers took the highest losses, consistent with their name. Jane Lou Dragons had the highest morale of any unit. They had the highest charge. Guard Cuirassiers had the highest melee. Fastest reload, highest accuracy. And then our officers. Obviously, our original officer, von Anhalt-Dessau, had the best stats because he was there from the beginning. Most of these other officers didn't fight that many battles. All right. So that's where we end up. If you have a particular game you'd like to see me try out on this channel that's other than this, let me know that. If you want to see me play something, if you want to see me play more of Master Command, let me know that as well in the comment section below, and we'll see what we can do. Thanks for watching.